Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day?
Hello everyone, my name's Dean, let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is October 8th, 2025, and Bitcoin is stuck in a range. Most people just don't know it yet. However, what's much more exciting is what many altcoins are preparing to do. So we're going to talk about Bitcoin, we're going to talk about bullish altcoins, not the bearish ones, and it's up to you to figure that out, which ones are which. So if that's all interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. Let's start with Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. So we are looking at a larger range and then a much smaller range. First, context of the larger range. Understand that Bitcoin has been in a larger range, right, since July. So we're in October. July that's 3 months, 3+ months in this range. And you can see that we've made 1, 2, 3 tops. This is the third top. That's not a bullish scenario. Just FYI, I talked about that at length in the previous episode. Everything contextually, in terms of technical analysis, says that this is a very bearish scenario. Just this. That is not even considering what happened over there. Okay, that is also even more bearish. But now let's just focus on these past 90 days of price action and understand that this right here is more likely than not, probabilistically. That's all we do, right? Doing this technical analysis stuff, probabilistically, this is an extremely bearish scenario, and it's one in which you're likely to find Bitcoin ranging like so before ultimately dropping. All right, so that is the larger context of things in case you're new around here. Now, let's look more carefully at what's happening in this smaller range, okay? And as you can see, you have a very clear what we call initial break of structure. We'd call that an A wave. Actually, the A wave may just be all of this stuff right here. 1, 2, 3 wave move down. And this is important. The initial break of structure does what? It sets the boundaries of the range. So this range, if we're correct, is going to be now topped over here and bottomed over here. That does not, please understand, that does not mean that the highest the price can go is 126 and the lowest it can go is 121. No. Those are just the measurements we use to calculate probabilistic highs and lows of this range. You will have deviations, not like that, but slight deviations where price can go above and below, but generally speaking, that initial break of structure, that A wave, dictates the technical parameters, bounds of the range that we're in. So that's important as well. And on that subject, if this is indeed a correct read of an initial break of structure, we can already say that our invalidation for that particular thesis is Bitcoin breaking this 1618 Fibonacci golden mean. Okay, the 1618. If you guys understand Elliott wave analysis, is the full extent of any counter. So this is an initial break. This would be the counter, right? This would be the B wave of this A wave. 128,965. Let's just say 129 would be the maximum a B wave could go with still being a B wave. So we're expecting Bitcoin not to go above around, let's just say 130 for the length of this matriculation in this consolidation zone. Okay, so that is our invalidation for this thesis. I know a lot of people ask that, but then that's not the only bearish thing. We're just dealing with this. Now you have to, if you want a more comprehensive invalidation, people always ask for invalidations, but invalidations have to be specific for the time frame that you're viewing. So on the small time frame, just with this tiny bit of price action, it's 130. But if you zoom out and you consider the previous 90 days of price action, you have another invalidation. Zoom out even more. Consider the previous year of bearish, more likely than not bearish consolidation. You have yet another invalidation, just so you guys understand how that works in my mind. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Not very exciting going up and down, although we still track Bitcoin because it largely sets the trend for the entire crypto market. You're always going to get assets here and there that ignore the trend temporarily, but generally speaking, the entire cryptocurrency market is going to go down when Bitcoin goes down. The entire cryptocurrency market is going to go up as Bitcoin goes up. So right now, we are in, if this is an A wave, we are in an initial B wave. This B wave can, by the way, look like this, or it can look like this. We don't know. But if Bitcoin continues to go up as it's broken this midline, this point of control, perhaps it continues to go up. Do expect the rest of the cryptocurrency market to go up. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. That's what we're seeing. And to finalize our Bitcoin analysis, just a quick look at our liquidation heat map. And again, this is at coinglass.com. It's free information. No subscription required. I prefer liquidation heat map model 2. And that's what I'm using right now. And I'm using the Bitcoin super chart. And as you can see, if you look at the monthly chart, we are currently at a liquidity pocket, in a zone of liquidity where it's likely the price continue to feed on this liquidity right here around 126, 127, thereabouts. You can see that right here. That's basically what's been taking place. Actually, you can see that this right here at 118, 119 was a big liquidity zone that price ate into, and there's not much left. Actually, the last bits of liquidity are at around 126, 127, and then there's a pocket of space, which means no liquidity. Price doesn't like that. There's much more space below it. Anytime you see space, basically means there's no resistance. So price can pretty much just hop in between the levels of space. And if you understand that, then you can see how the big pocket of space below Bitcoin's price is more likely than not to be broken down into the next likely zone of liquidity, the big zone of liquidity, which is around 107. All right. So basically what we're looking at on the chart is Bitcoin hanging out in this consolidation until it finally breaks. This is what the liquidation data is telling us. Okay, that's enough about Bitcoin. Not that exciting, but still important. Now let's look at what altcoins are doing. That is interesting. Consider this chart first. This is the others chart. And the others is what you should be looking at to understand what altcoins are doing on the whole. Obviously, it's not going to tell you what every altcoin is doing, and not every altcoin is bullish, even if every altcoin may be going slightly to the upside. There's certain altcoins that are extremely bearish. You have to understand that. You have to take into account the higher time frame price action and understand that the bearish altcoins are just putting in some temporary moves up before going down much further. So when we go down and move down in a big way, so basically what's likely to happen is this. The bullish altcoins are likely to give big moves to the upside. The bearish altcoins are likely to give very muted, very small moves to the upside. Then the big corrections to the downside, when Bitcoin, goes from the top of its channel to the bottom, will send everything down a lot. And it's not going to ask permission. Hey, bearish altcoins, I know you didn't move up much, but do you mind if, everybody moves down? No, everything's going to move down. i.e., they're going to make lower lows, but the bullish altcoins are going to make higher lows. All right, so you have to disambiguate bullish altcoins from bearish altcoins. But the majority of altcoins, as per this chart, this others chart, which is basically most of the altcoins, if not all of the altcoins in the cryptocurrency space, minus the top 10 in market cap, are showing great bullishness. And this level right here is on the smaller time frame, breaking out of this big right here. Understand what we're dealing with. This is 500 days of resistance. There's a reason this has been hanging out here for so long. I mean, it's 500 days of resistance. So this breaks, expect a big move in the bullish altcoins, right? That's what this others chart is showing you. And I'm on the 4-hourly time frame. Look at the hourly time frame. Look what it looks like. This is why yesterday I told my group, Crypto Portfolio Mentorship and Consultation, hey guys, if you're looking to make entries, make them now. That was yesterday, right? Why did I say that? It's because I saw a rounded bottom, inverse head and shoulders, bullish reversal pattern. That did indeed break out. Do expect continuation, because you got this breakout right here. Sorry, this pen is, yeah. Let's try that again. You got this breakout right here of this inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal pattern. Not only did you get the breakout, but you got the retest. Okay, so do expect that to continue to the upside as it has been for the past few hours, and to eventually break through this 500-day resistance before retesting it as support. Okay, so that's what the other chart is saying. Altcoins, bullish altcoins, should be very bullish right now. Just give them their time. They will do their work. Do expect a relatively large move. And on this chart right here, this is saying in the aggregate, before reaching a major level of resistance, you should expect at least 12% more from the bullish altcoins. At least that means that some will give you 30, some will give you 40, others may give you 10 or 8, right? All right, so that is the others chart. Also, others dominance. This is basically, are altcoins beating Bitcoin in terms of the upwards momentum? Yes, this is what this chart is saying. Let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. And as you can see, you have this wicked falling wedge here. The falling wedge is one of the most bullish, if not the most bullish patterns in technical analysis. And the context of this falling wedge is a much, much, much larger 8 to 9 month consolidation pattern. Okay, basically since February, altcoins have been doing this. You finally got this falling wedge breaking out to the upside. Let's zoom in to see what I'm talking about. And the breakout I'm referring to is this right here. Okay, so the falling wedge is breaking out to the upside. Do expect altcoins to continue to beat Bitcoin in terms of market cap gains. The era of Bitcoin beating out altcoins is over. You may see that from time to time in retracements, but by and large and in the aggregate, altcoins are going to beat out Bitcoin substantially, and actually they have been since June. If you pay attention to this chart, just doesn't look like it, because obviously we lack patience, and it doesn't happen in every single altcoin, but the majority of altcoins bought in June should have beat out Bitcoin in terms of market cap gains. It doesn't make sense to the mind, especially if you follow social media, but do understand, since June, since actually the past 365 days, Bitcoin has been constrained to a channel. And so it's been going up and down and in a channel. Meanwhile, altcoins have been moving steadily up against Bitcoin, not by much, but technically, yes, they have been beating Bitcoin out. This becomes more clear and more stark now that you get up and straight line gains in this dominance chart against Bitcoin. So that's going to be a lot more clear, a lot more conspicuous. So that's basically it, guys. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value. Consider joining my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service, where you can trade directly with me. I give signals. We talk about pretty much identifying the bullish altcoins versus the bearish altcoins. We get in the bullish altcoins, and then within that, we identify high probability resistance and support levels where you can cycle your gains. Once things start moving, that'll be an extremely important part. So I give timely updates, frequent periodic updates to the different levels of the assets that we're trading. So that's crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation. The link to sign up to that is in the pinned comment below. Last but not least, I also do a single asset analysis service where, if you're not interested in trading with me like fully, and you just want insight on one asset in particular or one indicator in particular, it doesn't even have to be a crypto thing. It could be gold, it could be silver, it could be stocks, anything. That's a single asset analysis service. Just pay the fee, send me an email what you want me to look at, and within 24 hours, you should have the analysis, pre-recorded analysis in your inbox, and you can follow up with a couple follow-up questions. That's it for me, guys. No BTCC. BTCC is no longer my exchange partner. It's a safe exchange, but I just don't like what they did with one of my clients, and so I really don't like that, and I don't need it. So I mean, I don't like exchanges generally. I use them all the time, but like the whole working for them and doing the partnership, and they're basically trying to get everybody to trade leverage, and I hate that. If you're not a seasoned trader and you don't want to trade leverage, you shouldn't have to trade leverage. We understand how profitable it is for exchanges for people to trade leverage, but people shouldn't be pushed into it, right? Basically referring to how the bonus on the last promotion that I had with them, they were forcing people to get that bonus in. I just figured out, I didn't know this. They were forcing people to get the bonus in futures bonus, not just some spot bonus that you could pull off. Obviously, a seasoned trader can turn that futures bonus into USDT, with a quick trade, but still the idea, the principle makes me So yeah, I don't like it. I don't need it. So as of now, no exchange partner for the channel. It's just you guys and myself, and that's it, guys. Take care. Bye.
Prevalent time slot, I vocalize, too deep to localize, even when I'm right on the surface. You act surprised how I work this, but I can't lie. Many a good alibi. I'll catch you later.
Visions are vividly enhanced with emphasis and amethyst to develop morale advantages which help us manifest magnanimous. We body vitals like evangelists. So listen when you're dealing with people who be revealing premonitions with precision. At least that's what I'm aiming at for now. I speak the language of the world, meandering throughout the crowd. Used to feel safe to say anything, but now it's a risk. It's hard for me to let go when all I can do is reminisce. Gone like the wind, here's where I begin. Should I smile or